Mr. S.K. Sahi, Captain S.P. Rao, Captain Jayaraj, Mr. V.T. Joseph, Mr. G.S. Bhalla, distinguished invitees, both from India and I see a sprinkling from overseas as well, which is truly very, very encouraging. Members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon everyone. At the outset, may I extend my very, very warm thanks to Captain Anand and the other promoters for this very kind invite extended to me to be here amidst all of you this afternoon. It's indeed a very rare privilege and honor for a very obvious reason that this is history in the making, and to be part of that is truly inspirational, and one is blessed in a sense. I'm also delighted because I see such a distinguished galaxy of stalwarts here. This indeed is epochal, very historic, because this is the soft launch of the Maritime Protection and Indemnity Association of India. I remember when Captain Anand came and met me up early last month, I was indeed very, very enthusiastic about this when he said that as of 7th of January, they had registered this under the Companies Act. And when he showed me the document of the registration, one thing which struck me was that it was not a Section 25 company, because I immediately recalled that in the erstwhile Companies Act of 1956, a non-profit company is typically under Section 25. So I was a bit flummoxed. So I made it a point that I spoke to his legal counsel, and I stood corrected that under the Companies Act 2013, the new version 2, the very same Section 25 is now rechristened and numbered as Section 8. So that was indeed very reassuring. Now, Captain Anand, of course, has been the driving force behind this initiative, and much has already been said and probably chronicled. There are enough narratives which have been said of him. All I would like to reiterate is that there is this very uncanny analogy between the IRS and this institution that he has founded that dates back to the year 1974. It was a saga of journey which traversed around 26 years before the IRS was able to penetrate the ratified league of the International Association of Classification Societies. I'm quite sanguine, and I have every reason to believe that it will probably not take as long as that. And given the extensive and wide support, which I'm sure he'll be able to leverage, and so will the other promoters, that this association, from the kernel which it has now germinated, will probably get into the IG club, and that will indeed be a signal honor. I also noted, and this is something which I shared with Captain Anand even as of yesterday, that in terms of processes and procedures, the approvals of the due diligence approvals of the insurance regulators such as the IRDA has been sought, and it's only a matter of time that will probably fall in place. It's also noteworthy that, as Mr. Joseph just mentioned, that a modest beginning is being attempted, and which is how it ought to be, because when you begin a venture which is ambitious but at the same time very challenging and very daunting, it is just as well that you make baby steps to begin with. And to that extent, I think I must compliment you that this is the way forward, where you seek to cover the coastal ships and ships of the NCV sector. And it is also heartening to note that ab initio, as we speak, you probably already have under your belt about 40 odd ships. Well, that's the way to go, and I'm sure you'll be able to scale up, and with the support which I'm sure you'll all reach out, and for which I would make an earnest appeal to all the stakeholders of the industry, that here is an initiative which conforms to the Honorable Prime Minister's philosophy of Make in India. Well, that is product oriented primarily. Here is something which is the counterpart of that on the service front. And it is wholly coincidental that this is being embarked upon in the month of February, but just about 2 weeks from now, the Prime Minister will be here in Mumbai to launch the Make in India in a mega scale, and it's just about 2 weeks from now, really. So that's a coincidence which is fairly uncanny. You mentioned that this is a fixed premium venture that you're launching. There is reassurance that is coming. So there is a common pooling to that extent. You'll be leaning on certain international players to begin with. Clearly, the port entry rules would obviously not apply at some point, at this point in time. What is also fascinating is that the 12 board of directors that you have amidst all of you are amongst the shipowning community. You also have a setup of managers who will manage this entire transaction business. You have assured that for some time to come there will be no revision in the premium rates. I think this will be manna to the ears of the industry, if I may say so. All I would like to once again say is that initiatives such as these are extremely rare. We need to welcome them with open arms. I'm sure there are Cassandras, there are skeptics who will say that how is it that it's possible for an Indian initiative to be successful? I think if we live the Indian dream, and now 67, 68 years after independence, with India maturing not only as a democracy, but as an extremely vibrant economy, I think we bid fair to position ourselves as probably one of the most progressive economies globally. I'm sure there's a lot of skeptics around, but as I keep saying in multiple fora that India's time has come, and to that extent, the industry's time for this initiative has come. It is often said that come 2030, India will probably be the second largest economy, and in 2050, we'll probably, if all goes well, I don't know how many of us will survive to see that, but that's a prophecy which I think is promising enough. And I think that overall context where India seeks to become a global power and to demonstrate its prowess all around, this is indeed a step in the right direction. May I, on behalf of all of you, once again extend heartiest compliments and many, many congratulations to Captain Anand and his co-promoters. This is a splendid work. We are extremely delighted and proud, and we wish you Godspeed, and may this initiative gain traction in the days and years to follow. And hopefully, I think this should all go well for your entry sooner than later into the IG Club. Thank you very much.